Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the very next episode of The Remedy with Tova Sido and you're still getting used to
Janice
that.
Sterling, Gaunt, Haney. I've had all sorts of names.
I walked by Haney this morning and I thought of you.
Oh, you did?
Yep. And we can't forget you,
Thomas Sterling Bridwell.
Sterling. Sterling's such a good name.
It is such a good name.
Did you have a hard time giving that up?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I did. I couldn't use it as a name for my children because my sister's son was named Sterling when he was born.
Oh. I'm surprised that your daughters haven't reused it. Such a good name.
It's such a good name.
Mm-hmm. Did they name a boy or a girl Sterling?
Boy.
Boy. I would name either one.
Yeah, I would too. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a strong name.
It's a strong name.
How are you doing today, Tom?
I'm good. I've been busy. We just had you guys met them. Those two ladies just came over to read this book on tape. Today was their first day, and they got through 20 pages in 2 hours.
Is that good?
200 to go.
Oh.
It is hard.
It's a lot harder. It was funny. She tried sitting in a chair first, and after about 15 minutes, she's like, I'm having a hard time breathing. Can I stand? And then she didn't like standing after about 10 minutes. And so then she tried that stool, which is kind of a hybrid of the two.
Yeah.
And she said that she's like, I don't really know which one I like the best. I'm going to have to figure this out. But she just couldn't really get comfortable.
Huh. I wonder why she had a hard time breathing.
Well, do you think maybe she was uncomfortable because she didn't know you, Tom?
It could be a little bit of that.
That she was intimidated.
Honest to God.
The whole process, maybe.
I can't tell if you're sort of teasing or not, but
I don't think
like
she's
I'm
teasing.
some sort of intimidating person or something.
No, you're not intimidating, but this is your business, and so she's hiring you, and when I sat down right here in the studio and recorded Prince Charming with you, and I mean it was not easy.
There are some inherent nerves built into your first recording session, no matter if you're doing music or reading a book or just.
For sure.
In a studio, there's no question.
And you don't really know what the hell you're doing.
No.
Also, people are so used to just reading with their eyes that when they actually have to read it aloud, and then you've got the headphones on, you can hear every single detail of your mouth and all the sounds that you make when you breathe and all that. It's a little weird to get used to, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the last hour, she definitely hit her stride, and so we're off to a good start.
That's
good.
Yeah, I would not want to do a book on tape or whatever it's called.
I really should have done another Francais.
Did you do your first? Is your first book recorded? Just your second.
Just my second one.
Damn good books right there. They are. I recommend them to a lot of people.
Oh, Tova, that's so nice.
They are fantastic. Did you learn a lot, Tom, listening to her read her book? Because I don't think it's just for dating. I also think it's just it's a great relationship.
To be honest, I'm not comprehending the text while it's being read. I'm mostly focused on just following along and making notes. I'm mostly just thinking about the technical part of it.
Well,
I guess that is your job.
And you have to listen so closely because the reader is going to mispronounce something or skip something. And because there were times when I didn't realize what I had done that needed fixing, but Tom caught it.
That's so fascinating.
Yeah.
And to your point, Tom, I mean, reading a book out loud is very different than sitting in your living room and reading a book on your couch.
Definitely.
Quietly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, most people don't just talk for 2 hours straight. So that right there is just it's like a workout, especially for your diaphragm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a workout. That's I mean, those people who do concerts, like badass concerts, and they sing for like 4 hours and dance and perform. Like, they blow my mind.
No, it's a lot.
Did you guys watch the Oscars?
Parts.
Yeah.
Parts.
Did you see the James Bond musical tribute?
Yes, I liked
That girl,
it.
the third girl, Ray.
Oh, yeah.
She was incredible.
Oh.
Speaking of breathing and singing, dude, that girl was insane.
I didn't really.
She's kind of like a cross between Adele and the girl who died. What's her name? Amy Winehouse.
Winehouse.
Wow, that's
She's
a great combo.
So amazing.
So one of them was not black, right?
Okay, so the first girl, I don't think I even saw, but then the second girl was Doja Cat, and I don't think she was that great. And then the third girl was this girl named Ray, Raye. She was on Saturday Night Live this season, and I remember her, and she was amazing. But last night, I think she really turned some ears.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, I should have paid.
What's
What's
her last name?
It's like a single name, Ray, like Madonna.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because yeah.
She's incredible.
Wow, I'll have to pay attention.
Yeah.
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 It's funny how much movies have changed for me since COVID. I used to love the movies and go to the movies all the time. I never do anymore.
Are you because you think you're going to get COVID?
Oh no, not I just got out of the habit of going to the movies. I don't even know what movies there are anymore.
Well,
Do you go to the movies?
Yeah, we watch a lot of them on TV.
Yeah,
but
I love watching them at home.
the one, what won Best Picture? Enclave.
Honora.
Oh, and what about the one about the Pope?
Yeah, Enclave. It was
Enclave.
nominated, but it did not win.
Yeah, did you see that movie?
Not yet.
I saw it when I was in Chicago, when Vicki and I went to Chicago to hang out with our friend that lives there. And one afternoon, we went to the movie, and it was really fun because we each got big old popcorns and Diet Cokes, and the movie was amazing. And then Tom and I, after we got home, he said, "Did you like that movie?" And I said, "Yeah, it's great." And he said, "I want to watch it." And I said, "I would love to watch it again." It's really good.
Wow, it was good enough for two?
It's very good, and
Wow.
it's very Catholic, and it's all so. It's worth watching for sure.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's really the only one that I just haven't been to the movie.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I saw Wicked with Betty. That's the only one in the whole category that I had seen.
And how was it?
It was very impressive, but it was also very long. And I was a little miffed that at the end of the 3 hours, you come to find that it was basically a setup for the sequel.
Oh.
Yeah.
3 hours?
Yes,
That's
3
too long.
hours.
A 3-hour movie?
Because it's basically an adaptation of the musical that's been in New York for all this time.
I love the Wicked musical.
Yeah, I mean it is basically a word for word adaptation.
Oh my gosh.
I love Wicked the musical. I
haven't seen it. I have to see it.
The music is
Yeah.
just spectacular.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Okay, on to this week's subject. 7 things that you are not responsible for.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yes.
I don't want to be responsible for a whole lot of stuff.
Exactly. So this is
All right.
You can thank us later
Yeah.
for you. These are some really good things to let go of too.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. So 7 things that you are not responsible for. It'll be interesting to see if any of us carry a responsibility with any of these things. I bet you were all fairly decent at letting this shit go. It took a while and a whole bunch of money, but I let it go. The first one, you are not responsible for other people's happiness. Let them be unhappy.
So good, so hard to do. Because, it's just, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
Yeah.
So I can remember dancing around trying to make my mother happy.
Oh,
And
of course.
Yeah.
That was like a full-time job as a child for me,
yeah,
making sure my mom was okay.
yeah, yeah.
And that's awful a responsibility.
It's a terrible responsibility for children to think that it's their responsibility. Mm-hmm. And, but even that, I mean, if I look at my relationship with Tom, I definitely want Tom to be happy, but that's not on my side of the street. Right. It really is on his side of the street, and he's going to have to, he would have to make that, if he was unhappy, look at it and figure out what it was, and I would be there to be an encourager and all of that. But not being responsible for other people's happiness is really, it's hard. Mm-hmm. To do if you were raised taking care of people. But just letting them be unhappy is not the end of the world for people.
Yeah. You can be okay when other people are not okay. Yeah. I said something like that. I was with George and Carter last weekend at KU. Oh, at KU. Yeah. And I said something, somebody was upset and Carter was like, "Are you okay with that, Mom?" And I go, "Oh, I don't care at all." I was like, I'm done running for cheerleader. Yeah. And he died laughing. He goes, "Oh, I am stealing that." I go, "You've never heard me say that before?" I was like,
I've said it a million times.
Oh, I got it from you. Like, it's such a great thing. Mm-hmm. Like, and you know what? I went and got I went to the OB this morning for my annual and got my mammogram.
Oh, I know the whole thing.
It's the worst. Got nothing like spreading your legs and getting your boob smashed all in one day. Tom, you don't even know. Anyway.
Not sure I want to.
No, it's not pretty either way.
Well, the girl who was doing my mammogram asked me what I did. I said, "Well, I'm a pastor and a counselor." And she said, "Oh." And then she was like, "How do you not take that stuff on?" I was like, "Oh, people walk out of my house and so do all their problems."
Yep.
I think that's the only way that you and I could be effective and not let it take us down is to be okay when other people are not okay.
If you absorbed it and felt like I can't be okay when other people are not okay, it would be terrible.
Yeah. And I think probably
people get depressed.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not depressed.
Me neither.
You want the next one?
Sure. You are not responsible for making people understand your choices. Let them be confused. That's interesting, isn't it?
I wonder in what, I guess if you made a decision for a job or made a decision in a relationship.
Yeah.
And people are like, "What?"
Or like if like your children or your grandchildren say, "Can you please take me, blah, blah, blah." And I might say, "No, I can't do that today." And they'd be like, "Oh, my tutu," because I don't say no very often. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it is, I think this is really good because we just don't have to say yes and make people happy.
I tell Biddy all the time that I don't owe her an explanation.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
And you know what? You're teaching her by saying that, Tom, that she doesn't either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to other people.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have a hard time with this.
Yeah.
Because if they understand, then they'll approve, and we oftentimes work for people's approval.
Yeah. Yeah.
We shouldn't work so hard.
I know.
All right, Tom.
You are not responsible for proving your worth to people who don't see it. Let them underestimate you.
You're not responsible for proving your worth to people. Yeah. If somebody doesn't understand.
We skipped one.
Yeah, we skipped one.
We did?
Okay,
It's okay.
That's all right.
I'll go back to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not going to prove my worth to anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anybody that in your life that's even worth proving it to? It's like if they don't know, I'm not going to prove it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't find myself worrying about that at all. Mm-mm. Or thinking, I need to make sure that they are understanding that I'm valuable.
Yeah. Either they find value or they don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I could see this being something that a wedding planner might run into. Being that I've run sound for over 100 weddings in my lifetime. Wow. I could see that a wedding planner might be like, say, to a bride's mother, which the bride's mother can be problematic often.
Yeah.
I do know
and
that.
I could see this being something that a wedding planner would say to herself in the mirror every day. Like, they hired me and I'm going to do my job. And if they don't like it,
yeah, forget it. Who cares?
I'm not going to sit around and let them second guess every decision I've made. Like, this is why I get paid the big bucks. This is what I do. And they're going to just have to deal with, I could see that being something that.
Yeah. But to your point, it's a good example because, this is, for people that they say this is the most important day of my life and everything has to be perfect.
Well, that's, and she's a wedding planner. She knows that, honey. Yeah. She knows that.
Yeah, I wouldn't want the pressure of that job.
Oh, me neither.
Or the responsibility. Or all the constant complaining.
Yeah.
And fretting and worrying. Yeah. And stressing.
Exactly.
Oh. Okay.
Going back one?
Yeah. You are not responsible. Oh, wait. No, I already read it. You are not responsible for managing someone else's emotions. Let them feel how they feel.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I think that a lot of us have difficulty allowing people that we love to be unhappy or scared or it's hard to
upset.
For whatever reason that we think, okay, well, I guess I need to get in there and try to fix it. And that can be difficult for me as if it's my children or my grandchildren, or if somebody is upset about something, I do feel like sometimes if I've had a part in it, that I need to fix it. But that doesn't happen very often.
Right.
Yeah.
But it is, to your point, especially if it's your children and grandchildren, if somebody's hurting, you want... I mean, I remember when Blair was getting divorced and that was very hard on you because it was very hard on her.
I know.
And so it is really hard to separate when you love your people so much. And it's just, I mean, when all of your kids are doing so good, and I can't even imagine grandkids, because it's just more responsibility, like you would feel like you just want them to be happy. Like you desperately want everybody to just be happy. I mean, a couple weeks ago when I was 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was in Spain with Anna Prin, and then the next weekend I went to go see my boys at KU. Carter met me and George there, and I got home, and just to have all 3 of my kids safe, happy, doing great in school, great friends. It's like, it's kind of that spinning plates. It's like when they're all spinning, it's like, oh, look, they're all spinning.
And then one plate falls over.
Yeah. And then before you know it, a plate falls over, and then you got to help them put the pieces back together or encourage them.
Yeah.
But it's like when they're all spinning, it just, there is a relief in that.
Yeah, there is.
For sure.
There is. You can just kind of breathe.
Okay. This is a good one, too. The next one.
My turn?
Yeah.
You are not responsible for proving your worth to people who don't see it.
Oh,
we just did that one. That's the one I skipped to. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, okay. That's all right.
It's the next one.
You are not responsible for meeting everyone's expectations. Let them be disappointed.
This is a great one.
It is. One of my favorite sayings is an expectation is a premeditated a fallout. Because if I try to make everybody happy with their expectations, it's just impossible.
Go crazy.
It would go crazy. Yeah.
Yes. You would. I have to say the place that I probably struggled with this the most was kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have really wanted to, as a mom, to meet the expectations of my children. But it's like, that's not possible, number one, when you have 3 children. I mean, unless you've got nothing but time and money, and that might not even be in their best interest, for me to meet every expectation. But when you feel like you're disappointing your child in some way, shape, or form, that's hard on hard on me.
I can remember that also because, especially financially, the money thing is. It takes a lot to hold on to yourself, and in your head you're saying, no, you don't need to hop in there and buy that car or buy that or take that kid on a vacation or whatever. It's just not meeting their expectations.
Yep.
And I have I have expectations of myself that I have to be careful of.
Yeah, that's a great thing to say.
Because, I should be doing this, or I should be doing this, or, they're so cute. Oh, they're so, Yeah.
The
should all over everybody. Get you in trouble. It's going to stink.
That's one of the best things that you ever taught me was... Anytime I started a sentence with, I probably should, I could do the exact opposite. And I was like, wow, what a fun thing. What a fun idea. I'm going to say no to everything from here on out.
Exactly.
But people do have expectations of us.
Well, yeah, because, we've been doing it a lot. We don't, or I certainly haven't, and I don't think that you or Tom have been this. You are not. We don't say no a lot because we want to say yes, and we want it to be fun, and we want it to, to be able to experience some of those things. It's just that we have to, or at least I have to be careful because I could get really carried away with it.
I think it's easy to get carried away.
I do too.
And if you, to your point, using money as an example, if you have the means, it's so much easier to say no if the bank account tells you.
Yes, exactly.
No.
Yeah, sorry, piggy bank's empty.
Yeah, but if you have it, then you've got to be disciplined to really figure out, is this in the best interest of my child
or me? Is this going to cause me stress if I pay too much money for something, and then I'm like, oh, that was a lot. I wish I hadn't done. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah, it's in our best interest too. Is this really something that we want to do and it's going to be good for me as well as my kids or grandkids?
Yeah, I think it can be tricky, but I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
There's something about too. I love my kids. I've always just loved them. I think that I'm crazy about them. But when the grandkids get in the picture, then it's such a different experience because you're not responsible for paying for their college, thank goodness, or stuff like that. But it is hard for me to keep from just
overdoing it.
Yes.
I bet.
Yeah, because I've got some money under my sink.
Yeah.
I got cash under there.
I'm coming over.
I told you the story about Owen, didn't I?
I don't know.
When Owen, my oldest grandson, had his electric bike, he had spent the night with us because his parents were out of town.
Is this the helmet?
Yeah.
Yeah. But say it again.
And so I said, Owen, where's your helmet? And he said, I don't have a helmet. And I said, well, I tell you what, I'll give you $100 and I will take you to buy your helmet. But you're going to have to wear it. And he was like, do you have $100? And I said, yeah. And he goes, I'm not sure I'd do it for 100. And then, so I sat there a second, and then he goes, do you have $500? And I said, actually, I do. So I go upstairs and get 5 $100 bills from
wherever you keep
wherever I keep it. And I took it down to him, and he was like, oh my gosh, Tutu, this is just amazing. And I said, okay, but if I see you riding your bike without a helmet, then you're going to have to pay me back. Mm-hmm. But he never paid me back, and I don't remember ever seeing him without it. But yeah, it's just this thing that overcomes me, and I just don't say no. I'm like, okay, sure.
God, to have you as a grandmother would just be the best.
Well,
to have you as our tutu is
I need to just, I do amazing. Have to watch it because it can go out. Yeah.
My doctor this morning has 25 grandchildren. Thank God you don't have that many.
Oh my gosh.
He has 13 children. 25 grandchildren.
That's a lot.
That is too many.
That is a lot.
I mean, what in the world? When he told me how many grandkids he has, my eyes almost fell out of my head.
That's hilarious. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
All right, you want the next one, Tommy boy?
Okay, sure. You are not responsible for rescuing people from their problems. Let them learn from life. This is funny because I'm kind of going through this. When I read ahead while you guys were chatting, I read this one and I thought, I'm going through this right now with my next door neighbor.
Oh.
She's going through this really bad breakup with her boyfriend of 10 years.
Oh.
And
did they live together?
They did. They lived together. Okay. They bought that house next door to us about 5 or 6 years ago. Mm-hmm. And they also have a vacation home in Montana that they own together.
Oh, no.
And the two properties are what is keeping it from being over because they are squabbling over, like she would like him to buy her out of this house so that she can stay here and be our neighbor. And he wants her to buy him out of their Montana home. But she was the one that found the place in Montana. Her family had been going there forever. And she's kind of like, no, you're buying me out of both. Because he's a douche and he cheated on her 3 times.
Oh.
I'm not going to name names, so I don't care about saying this.
3 different people?
3 different times. And the third time, she finally said, F this, I'm done.
Go.
Damn.
But this process of them breaking up has been so crazy because this dude is just like, he doesn't get it. He's the one that fucked it up, and he's not being a man and just... he should just give her what she wants and get the hell out. And
I agree.
I've wanted to go help her with this situation, whether it was take a baseball bat over to his apartment and beat him up.
Yeah.
Or just send him a harshly worded letter saying, dude, you're an embarrassment to men everywhere. Or even just like going and taking him to lunch and being like, dude, you need to be told this. I'm just going to, but I can't. I got to stay away. I got to get out of it. She's got to figure it out on her own.
Yeah.
But Maureen and I are both struggling with how long it's taking. And we're both like, we really wish we could interject and help, but I think we would just make it worse.
I just don't think it's terrible.
But it's so hard to watch from the sidelines.
Oh, I know.
But that is such a good example, Tom.
Yeah.
We can't fix other people and their problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though if somebody was acting the fool, you still, you just have to kind of keep your hands up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And out.
Yeah,
I know.
Totally.
Yeah.
Has he reached out to you guys?
No, we haven't. I haven't actually seen him in the flesh in like 18 months.
Oh.
Yeah, they were trying to work it out after the second mess up. But after the second mess up, Maureen and I were done with him. So that the last, 8 months of their relationship, she and I avoided him like the plague. We didn't go out socially. Whenever we would see him in the front yard or see him driving up the street, we would like look the other way. He used to come to my poker games, and of course I haven't invited him to those in a long time.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where now that they're finally over with, and this thing is still lingering because of their properties not being settled, and because they weren't married, it seems like it would be easier, but it seems it's not. It's just as hard. They're going to probably have to get attorneys and do litigation, but it's such a beating. It's one of those things you just wish that he would.
God, just buy her out. Go get your own deal.
That's the other thing, is that she can buy and sell him a dozen times over.
Oh.
And I don't know why. I wish that that's the part that's so hard for me, is just be like, dude, just go take care of this. Like, but I can't. Again, I gotta sit on my hands and close my mouth and not get involved.
Yeah. And they'll have to figure it out.
I've gone through this with my cousin too. He had a couple of bad divorces, or one bad divorce, on his way to the second, and it's really hard to not offer up opinions and or help him with stuff.
Yeah.
But honestly, people just have to learn their own way.
I think this is probably, it's hard when it's somebody that you care about deeply.
Yeah, definitely.
But yes. And
if it was my daughter, it might be a different story.
I was about to say, I think it's almost impossible with your children.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean it doesn't still ring true that you've got to stay out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, but it's hard.
I know.
For sure.
If somebody hurt my kids, I would.
Oh, I know.
I would want to.
And a broken heart is just it's just it's so people that you love, and they're just so devastated.
Mm-hmm. And then you see those big crocodile tears.
I know.
You want to kick some massive amounts of ass.
Exactly.
Okay, last one. You are not responsible for managing everyone and everything around you. Let them be.
Oh, good. Yes.
I have not read this book, but one of my sisters told me about this book called Let Them or something. Have y'all heard anything about it? Mm-mm. I think it's called Let Them. And it's all about this, like just letting go of all of it. Mm-hmm. And, stay in your hula hoop.
Yeah.
And manage yourself. And that's all you can do.
Yeah.
But damn, if we aren't in the business of making everybody else's stuff our stuff.
Well, we care and we love so much. Yeah. And then it's just when you watch somebody that is unhappy or is gone through a breakup like this guy and all of that, it's very difficult to not have empathy around that to the point of thinking, oh gosh, it helped this out, know? But I can remember when Bryn and Blair got their divorce, it was so hard for me, not because I loved their husbands, but I just hated to see my daughters flail and try to figure it out and all of that stuff.
Well, and then the negotiation period is never easy, never fun.
No.
I don't care whether you're arguing over $2 or 20 million. It sucks.
It is terrible.
Yeah, it really is.
But they, but what I think as humans, most of us are pretty resilient. Mm-hmm. And once they walk through some of those things, they're better.
Oh, yeah.
And their perspective is better and they're smarter and they are not quite so easy to fall into something without knowing.
Yeah.
Like if you, for example, if one of my daughters was dating a guy who if she was starting to date a guy who had screwed around on his wife and that's why he got a divorce, I would definitely say to my daughter, this is none of my business, and I'm going to give you something, though, to think about. It would be a big mistake for you to be with somebody who hasn't fixed this problem.
Yeah.
Because it can be just, and it's not that I'm trying to be responsible, but you want people to be a little bit careful about redoing something after you've already done it.
Yep. And that is a big tendency.
Yeah.
Is to not fix whatever broke, not figure that out. I mean, that was such an important part of me getting divorced was, okay, I don't know why I was in this and why, but I'm going to learn about it.
Yeah.
Because I cannot ever go through that again.
Yeah.
A repeat offender of that would have just been
terrible.
Yeah. And now, I mean, I'm so damn happy with Craig that I had one last night. I have a reoccurring nightmare that I lose him.
You mean like
he either dies
or he leaves you or something?
Because I am so grateful that I found him. And I think, because he's just such a good man.
Yeah.
But that was my hard work, to say no to a bunch of BS.
There were other people that came into your world that weren't sort of a guy. And it really is, I feel the same way about Tom as you do about Craig.
I know you do.
Just a good man. And he doesn't lie. There's just nothing sketchy or anything, so yeah, be careful.
Yes. And take the opportunity to learn the lessons. The hard, sometimes you can't help the hard, but learn the lessons from it so that you just don't keep repeating.
Yeah, exactly.
Your BS.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, these were good.
Yeah, they were good.
I mean, it comes down to control. We are so damn interested in controlling everything and everyone that to let go and remember that the only thing that we can do is really control ourselves. It's a tough lesson, but it is a freeing.
Yeah.
There is freedom on the other side of control.
There really is.
And you and I have tried to control a lot of things in life.
Some of them didn't work.
No mas.
No mas.
No mas. All right. Well,
that was really good.
Yeah,
I liked that.
Hope you find it helpful and hope you have a great week. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Are you there?